its intensity may be more than some wish to be exposed to, and those people should be forewarned.
Welcome back to Hunter's Life. In this episode, we'll be building a new character. I'm going to show you the process of how I build a character for a haunted house. So, if you kind of look over here, I got Mr. Carver that I bought from Shattered FX. He is a great overall character. He can almost fit in anywhere. That's kind of character I want. The place that I'm working now is Dark Hour Haunted House in Plano, Texas. The first thing you do is when you're building your character is you want to make it fit the theme of the haunt. When building my character, I had to go in and I actually had to read the backstory, and which is important if you work in any haunt, to read the backstory, because, you know, especially if you're acting, you need to figure out, you know, why your character's there. I've got this guy here. He can almost fit anywhere in the haunt. So what I've done is I started thinking, okay, what do I want him to look like? I know I want him to be fun, because for one, that's my personality, is not fun, but I'm very hyper. I have ADHD. I cannot stand still. I cannot move slow. I have to move fast. I have to be on the go. It's just the way I am, so that's the way my character is. So I got to put a little fun into the character. The next thing I want to do is trying to figure out how I can put a clock aspect into the character. Also, too, I am an actor coach in there, so I'm going to be in character going through the whole haunt. So I need to be a generalized character in the haunt, too, not only in the queue line. So when you're doing that, of course, the biggest thing you want to do is you want to get on the internet and start searching for pictures, ideas, things, you know. I went ahead and just searched several different things. I didn't even know I was going to do steampunk. I just started searching just all different kinds of stuff, and then I just searched steampunk one time, and I found a pretty cool thing. I have this, and this is the first guy I like. I don't know how well you can see him, but he's too medievalish, so I really couldn't do. I like all the leather that he has. The leather is really, really cool. Lots of layers. Love layers. So really couldn't do him. However, I did come up with this guy. This is just the basis of the outfit. We got the shoes. Love the shoes. Love the socks. The socks make it fun. That's the fun part of it. So I'm not so just actually a little fun with the socks. And then of course I went ahead and I did get green corduroy. We are going to distress it, put patches all over it. The vest that I have, I got a whole different type of vest. I am going to have a white shirt, and there's the bowler hat, which you see right here. We've already gotten that one. We're going to dirty everything up, distress everything. I'm going to have two different types of belts, just like he does. And so that was the basis of the character. I'm going to be carrying around a lot of keys. So, you know, I went and bought a lot of these. I'm just seeing how they you know, in here they look very old and all that. So I think the ones I'm going to have are going to be black and new. So I need to make, you know, we need to distress them. If you notice in this guy, he has his sleeves rolled up. I like that. So what I need to do is I don't want this exposed skin right here. I'm actually going to have fingerless gloves, but I don't want to have this skin exposed. So looked into maybe these kind of armbands with the belts on them, and maybe some tools in there. You know, the back of my vest, I want it to have, you know, right now it's just like a silky material. I want to go ahead and do it a rough material and actually have it a grunge on the back of me. I think it's a lot of added detail. The best place to find pictures that I would say, and that what I go to, is we do Pinterest and we do Google Images, and we just search and search and search and search and search. On this character, I would say I did about maybe 3 hours of research. That's a little extensive, but I didn't know what I wanted when I went into it. That's the reason why it took me so long in the search. Usually a search will usually take me less than 2 hours of going through pictures and then finally piecing it together on drawing it out on paper. So that's how you research building a character, and also to finding out how you would how your character would fit in your haunt. Alright guys, so we're at the second portion of our video. we've already made the costume. I'm going to show you what we've done, but I was trying to go from design to the finished product, which I'll be showing y'all here in just a minute. However, we'll start with, if you notice, noticed in the picture that I had, the guy had 2 pairs of socks. I got 2 different types of stripes. That way it just throws it off. It's not uniformed at all. So I just went to several online places to get some socks. I mean, it's just doing research. Gloves. I normally like to have some kind of gloves, no matter what. That's just what I like to do as far as my characters. I always like them to have something that shows, doesn't show the hands very much. I try to like to cover as much skin as possible. I didn't get this costume's not actually done yet. I still got a lot more to do. We just ran out of time. But as I said, I dirty up my hands. If any skin's showing, I dirty it up to take away me being human. First and easiest part was the shirt. What we did is we distressed it just enough. We didn't over distress it. We didn't under distress it. We just scuffed up the collar a little bit, just dirtied up, and then of course this. You notice he has some dried up blood that's going down his neck here. We wanted to make sure that we put some blood that came down onto the shirt. And as I said, the shirt, thrift store, Goodwill. The pants. You noticed in the video the guy was wearing some green corduroy pants. How the heck I found some green corduroy pants for not a ton of money was a blessing, because they were all, trying to find this type of green corduroy was hard. However, I'd get the douchebag Tommy Hilfiger pants. We went ahead and cut them off. I made sure that when I put them on, I cut them off right below the knee, and I started to tear some stuff. I distressed, if you noticed, all the marks. And then what I did is I went to a fabric store, and they have little sections that have little splotches of all this different fabric, or fabric that's like their throwaway fabric. Got a bunch of pieces and then cut them all in squares. I distressed them all. Distressed all the edges and all that, and then glued them all on the front and the back. And then of course, I even took some of the cut up pants that I had and even made patches with that. Very simple. As I said, the inside, you can see it's all hot glued. And we just distressed it. It just brings a lot of layers into it. And that's with any character, you want the more layers, the better. And then of course we got the vest. The vest is a 2 vest. I actually bought 2 vests. Both these vests were Goodwill or any kind of thrift store. We always go into thrift stores, and anything we find we grab a hold of, because there's some unique stuff. Basically, I had my wife sew this vest into the other vest, and that way I gave it 2 layers. So then of course we got where it looks like I have a pocket watch. We distressed the top layer, but not the bottom layer. We wanted to give 2 different looks. We did do a little dusting on the inside, but that was it. On the back is more of an apocalyptic feel. There's a lot of leather, rivets, buttons, hot glued, these metal rings on here, and jeans. And we got all the leather from Tanny Leather Supply, the rings and these and buttons, all that is from Tanny Leather. And the jeans are just an old pair of jeans. I cut this leather out and I had my wife sew. She did all these little patterns, that way it actually looks like it's sewed on even though it's just glued. This was actually a fun part to do. I had 2 belts. I had one that, this one here, the character was for Dark Hour Haunted House, and their big thing is clocks. So I got a gear belt here, got some keys, and by the way, the keys are awesome to look at. They're not awesome when you're trying to sneak up on somebody. I had a belt here. I went ahead and distressed it a little bit. and then added this to hold, you know, tools or whatnot. And I actually had 2 of them on there, but I took one off because I broke I broke my $10 prop. So I was teaching an actor how to scare in the house and got a little rambunctious and just grabbed a hold of a prop and it tore that off. So and of course, you know, I had the, you know, the Shattered FX mask that I bought at Transworld. And then of course I needed some shoes. So I went and we just tried. Usually I'm really particular about shoes. However, this was a score when I went to a thrift store and actually found some shoes. I just put some new insoles in them, and it actually worked out really well. And then of course, you know, last but not least, contacts. I am going to do some sleeves on here later on and add a couple more layers to it, and then I should be, I don't know if I'll ever be finished with it, but should be close enough. I want to add some more stuff to the belts. So when doing this kind of stuff, like these types of props and all that, they had a good paint job, but I wanted a better one. And I bought some of this metallic spray. I know we've been using some of this at Dark Hour, and I've loved it. That is complete character. I have final shots that you'll see here in just a minute. The biggest thing I wanted to do with this character is not to put him in any category. And I wanted people to sit there and go, what the hell are you? Which they did a lot. They couldn't figure me out. They couldn't figure out because, you know, at the bottom of my socks I had a little bit of what's called a fun. The hat I had, which is up in Dark Hour right now, it had some goggles. Front of the vest looked kind of steampunkish, along with the tools and all that, but in the back of the vest it looked apocalyptic. So I had a little bit of everything, that way nobody could figure me out. That being said, I hope you guys learned something from this. You got anything to say, Gage? No? Nothing to say? No? Nothing at all? Nothing to say? No? Nothing at all. Alright.
See you later.
Subscribe, baby, and thank you very much.